Hello, my marvellous sausages. Now, we know Lightfall is bringing with it a huge amount of changes to Destiny 2, and how we deal specifically with champions is being completely overhauled for the better, to be honest. Now, some effects like volatile rounds, jolt, ignitions, and slow will start stunning certain types of champions without the need for a mod, although anti-champion mods will still exist. But there are 3 weapon perks that will directly have an effect on champions in Lightfall. First of all, we've got Voltshot. Now, this applies Jolt when it's active, and if you apply Jolt to an Overload champion, they will get stunned. So you just make a kill, reload the weapon to proc the Voltshot, and then, hey presto, a stunned Overload champion. The next one is Incandescent. Now, this applies Scorch, and when there's 100 stacks of Scorched applied, the target ignites and explodes, and this ignition will stun unstoppable champions. So when a target dies who is Scorched, they add 30 stacks of Scorched to the enemies around them. So kill 3 enemies around an unstoppable champion, and they will ignite, stunning them in the process. Lovely. And then the final direct mod is Chill Clip. Now, the top half of the magazine applies Slow, and Slow stuns Overload champions. But that's not all it does, because if you apply enough slow, it freezes the target. And if you freeze and then shatter an unstoppable champion, you will stun them in the new sandbox. So Chill Clip could be very, very useful. Now, as with every new expansion, all the seasonal stuff is going away in the helm. It'll be a complete blank slate there, ready for next year's content. So I thought I'm going to go through all the seasonal weapons that you want to get patterns for now, while it's easier to get them, that run with these perks, these mods. So we'll have a look at Voltshot weapons, Incandescent weapons, and Chill Clip weapons as well. First off, let's look at Voltshot. Now, we didn't have any Voltshot weapons in Season of the Haunted, or on the war table for Season of the Risen, but the star chart has some goodies for us from last seasons of the Plunder. Season of the Plunder, no one liked it very much. Now, as well as these really important perks, I'll give you the main crafting god roll for these particular weapons as well, or at least the most popular roll that's crafted. So we'll have a look at this one first of all. The Tarnished Metal Scout Rifle. Yes, this is lovely. Now, of course, it's going to be really handy to have because you're going to be able to stun champions from a distance. Remember, the Voltshot will stun Overload champions. And now the main roll that people craft for this, the most popular roll, is Arrowhead Break, Accurized Rounds, Demolitionist, and Voltshot. Charming. Next, we have the Brigand's Law Sidearm. So this has got Voltshot on it, and it was probably one of the best weapons to come out of Season of the Plunder, at least one of the best piratey looking weapons. It's absolutely excellent. Now, the favourite roll to craft with this, once you get it, is Voltshot, Feeding Frenzy, Accurized Rounds, and Extended Barrel. And the final Voltshot weapon is the Sail Spy Pitch Glass. This is the final one from Season of the Plunder. Now then, this is an arc linear fusion. Although it's not as good as the Storm Chaser from the Duality Dungeon, having Voltshot and the ability to stun Overload champions will make this really important to craft and get ready for Lightfall with. The popular roll is Arrowhead Break, Enhanced Battery, Rapid Hit, and Voltshot. Now, this season we've got 2 excellent Voltshot weapons. The first one being, of course, the Ikelos SMG. This is one of the most popular weapons this season, and some say it's the best weapon this season for PvE, all told. The roll to craft, the most popular roll anyway, is Corkscrew Rifling, Seraph Rounds, Feeding Frenzy, and Voltshot. And the final seasonal weapon running with Voltshot is the Trace Rifle, the Path of Least Resistance. And my goodness me, isn't it beautiful? Now, the favoured roll for this for crafting, or at least the most popular, is of course Arrowhead Break. Then we've got Enhanced Battery, Subsistence, and Voltshot on the end. Well worth having a bash of that one too. Now we're going to move on to Incandescent, which is for stunning unstoppable champions with the Scorched, and we've got some here with Season of the Haunted. First off, we've got the Drang Sidearm. This is hugely popular with loads of rave reviews on LightGG. I don't have this one locked as yet, but it's one I'm definitely going to do before Lightfall. I'm really starting to like sidearms this season. The most popular roll is Hammerforce Rifling, Accurized Rounds, Moving Target, and Incandescent. Next, Next, we have the beloved Sniper. Now, Incandescent is not really the most popular perk on this. It's being pushed down to 3rd by moving target and quick draw. But this rifle is considered to be one of the best snipers in the game too, so well worth your time crafting for it. Be interesting to see how it works with the unstoppable stunning. But if you want to know the most popular role, it's fluted barrel, ricochet rounds, snapshot sights, and moving target. Next, the Callus Mini tool. I love this, and this is one of the first ones that I unlocked. It's brilliant for spreading the scorched love. It's actually the only SMG as well that has incandescent on it, so it's well worth the unlock. Now, the most popular role on this is incandescent, of course, and then we've got unrelenting. We've also got accurized rounds, and finally, smile bar as well. Marvellous. The other sources of incandescent weapons are this Season of the Seraph. First one is this, the Ikelos shotgun, and the most popular roles for this one are incandescent, of course, subsistence, tactical mag, and finally smooth bore. Don't get to say that very often. There we go, there's that one. And the other thing that rolls with the incandescent is the sniper rifle. Most popular role, incandescent at the top for this one, not like beloved. That's interesting, maybe the rapid fire frame doing that. 4th time's the charm, Seraph rounds, and then finally arrowhead break. Now, moving on to the only glaive we've got in this list, the Judgment of Kelgarath. Now then, I hardly use this to be perfectly honest, but it is craftable, so I'm thinking of sorting it out and get it going. The most popular role for this is ballistic tuning, alloy magazine, overflow, and of course incandescent. And finally, for Season of the Haunted, we've got the Without Remorse shotgun. This also runs with incandescent. I'm completely in the dark about this one, as I very rarely run shotguns, but the favoured role, or at least the most popular role to craft once you've got it, is incandescent, but of course, and then we've got threat detector, accurized rounds, and rifled barrel as well. Now, moving on to Chill Clip, which can do in unstoppables and overload champions, really. The slow will do the overloads, and then the freezing and shattering will do the unstoppables. There's only one weapon that we've got which rolls with Chill Clip, and that's this one. It's the Bump in the Night rocket launcher. I do quite like this, and I have crafted it as well. Its top traits, or its most popular role rather, we've got Chill Clip, of course, Demolitionist, Impact Casing, and Volatile Launch as well. But whether or not this would be any good at freezing them, if you'd be able to hit them hard enough with 2 rockets to freeze and then shatter, I'm not entirely sure. But, and this one is a little bit of not an outcast, but an outlier, because it's not a seasonal weapon, but I really do want to bring your attention to it. It's one of Shax's weapons, and it's this one. It's the Riptide Fusion Rifle. This is going to be incredibly useful. It's a rapid fire frame, and it rolls with Chill Clip as well. Now, you can't craft it, unfortunately, so it's something you kind of have to farm, I suppose, really, which you can do by coming here to Shax and keeping your Crucible Gear engrams there, and then you just can cash them in. You get a 1 Crucible Gear engram, 25 legendary shards, and 5,000 glimmer. The most popular role at the moment for the Riptide is Golden Tricorn, well-rounded, accelerated coils, and arrowhead break. But I can guarantee you, by the time next season rolls along, Chill Clip will be the #1 trait in the final column there. And there's 3 reasons for this. First of all, you'll be able to slow them when you hit them straight off with the top half of your clip with Chill Clip, because slow stuns overload champions. Then shoot them again and you'll freeze them, and then you shatter them and you'll stun unstoppable champions. But, now this isn't technically a stun, but it does stop them in their tracks. 2 shots, you'll be able to freeze barrier champions as well. So this weapon will deal with all 3 champions, really, and it's going to become incredibly useful. I'd advise you to pick it up this season, just in case it zips out of the pool when Lightfall comes along. Now, the best way to directly get the weapons that you want is to buy them from their various vendors. So my Drang here, I need to get Opulent Umbral Energy and Umbral Engrams. I can buy one of those once a week, which is quite nice, but it does mean that you've got to run the seasonal stuff to get some Opulent Umbral Energy. The Umbral Engrams, of course, will drop anywhere you like. Same goes, of course, for Season of the Plunder, and if you haven't yet, make sure you've unlocked all the upgrades, because you do have a few extra sources. My goodness, I haven't done that one yet. And as for this season, if you haven't unlocked all the upgrades already, there's a few which are really important for getting the deep sight. The focusing deep sight here, the first colossal season of the Seraph weapon you focus each week will have a deep sight resonance. This one here, heisted deep sight, the first time you open a locked Seraph chest in playlist heist battlegrounds each week, an additional Seraph weapon that you do not have the pattern for will drop with a guaranteed deep sight resonance. And finally, Seraphic deep sight bonuses. Locked Seraph chests in playlist and legend heist battlegrounds, of course, have a chance to drop an additional seasonal weapon with a guaranteed deep sight resonance, and this is important, that you do not have the pattern for. So you're going to be much more effective if you've got these ones unlocked. So there we go. There's your weapons you need to get, and keep an eye on those traits, those perks. They're going to become incredibly popular. Let me know what ones you're going to be get, or any other weapons that you can think of that roll with those that you want to use. Unfortunately, you won't be able to craft. But never mind, it's all going away. Get stuck in. And if you did enjoy the vid, a like and subscribe would be utterly fantastic. And I shall speak to you all again very soon. Sausage out.